stop turning that spit. That is the whole secret of a properly roasted goose.
It smells so good, Mother.
It does, doesn't it?
So once again, I find myself playing Pteranodon. This time, I had the intent of nesting to get that one final experience in playing the Pteranodon and feeling like I have, experienced the entire dinosaur. But as for how that turns out, well, you'll see. As always, thanks for watching my videos, and I hope you enjoy. So I believe that the body of water that I spawn next to is known as the Hidden Dam Lake. I'm not quite sure yet, but that's what I'm going to go with. And it was a very pretty location. The fish had only just started spawning in, so I tried to catch one with Christmas Goose, and being tiny, it's hard to judge the distance between the bird, pteranodon thing, and the surface of the water. So it didn't go too well, and she ended up getting a bit wet. The goose got washed, is what I'm saying. Oh, shoot! While the dip in the lake was embarrassing enough, things only proceeded to get worse for poor Christmas Goose. She had a long swim to the shore, and I thought things were kind of starting to look up when more pteranodon showed up. Little did I realize there was a rotten apple in the bunch. A bad seed, if you will. And I should have seen it coming. Oh my god, there's lots of pteranodons around here. Oh. Okay. So it was back to the creation screen once again. But I wasn't gonna let this dampen my spirits. Christmas Goose was going to have her day. Multiple days. At that. This time I spawned near the head of the river delta. And so finding fish to feast upon and help Christmas Goose grow was a fairly easy task. But to no one's surprise, the call of the frogs caught my attention, and so I proceeded to waste precious time and stamina upon the stupid slippery amphibians. Finally, I gave up. There were multiple calls from Deinosuchuses and raptors in the background. And Christmas Goose was low enough on stamina, I didn't want to risk her being grounded and eventually eaten. But as night set in, I realized that her water was getting low, as was her hunger, and so she needed to find something to satiate both quickly. I did notice some S-diet across the river, and so I thought that she could sneak in and snatch some of whatever was there. But it turned out it was rotten, and I didn't want Christmas Goose getting sick in the middle of the night and probably dying from starvation because of it. So we moved on to the always reliable swamps, where there's fish aplenty to catch. And fairly safe areas to drink and enjoy the atmosphere. I don't know, I really like the swamps in Gateway. So it's a good area to go and grow your pteranodon, in my opinion. We even ended up finding a sea turtle, and while I don't really like unaliving the poor little sea turtles, they do offer a great source of food. And they're very, very easy to dispatch. Yeah, dispatch. That's a good word for it. We ended up hearing the call of another pteranodon, and eventually we found each other up in the trees. Though unfortunately, shortly after grouping, his game crashed. I waited around in the area for quite some time, and he sadly never logged back in. But since this was such a good area to catch fish and just hang out in, I didn't really mind hanging around, hoping that he'd log back in eventually. Christmas Goose even got to catch a frog and enjoy that little feast. We also got to see a pack of ceratosauruses that we harassed a little bit. It was fun. Oh, they're ceratos. Don't. We woefully found another sea turtle as well.
I'm sorry.
We almost got to have another dogfight with Pterodactylus. And then it turned out that my game needed to do an update, I guess, or my game crashed, something, I'm not sure, but either way, I got kicked out of the game. And my full-grown pteranodon was no more. Wow, the latency. What is up with that? Alright, the rubber banding is really bad. But I spawned near another new-to-me location that I thought was really neat and decided to make the best of it. I also got to see my first Herrera in-game. Okay, the Dilo is trippy sounding. As well as hear the chorus of Dilophosaurus in the background. Whoa! Dilophosaurus. I think it's Dilophosaurus. That just sounds weird. The poor little Herrera was trying so hard to get his tasty little dinner that was Christmas Goose, but he kept failing. And I felt bad for the little guy, so I did try and catch him some fish, even though they're not on his diet, but at least it's something to eat. And he ended up not eating them, and my dumb butt decided that instead of catching more readily available fish, Christmas Goose could eat one of those, and she ended up getting vomit sickness from it. Oh my god. Scared the absolute out of me. Vomit sickness, and I don't know where to find the salt. Christmas Goose is just cursed. Every time I eat, my freaking stupid pteranodon throws up. Eventually, the vomit sickness wore off, and we were able to refill poor little Christmas Goose's tummy. Of course, then a notification came in that the server was about to restart, so we had to find a safe spot to perch up in the trees. And then the H button decided not to work as my pteranodon refused to lay down. Okay. Cool. Lay down. Well, even better than that, apparently she died because when we logged back in, I had to start a new juvie again. I got to see a new little pond that I hadn't known about before, which is some silver lining, and then shortly after arriving there, my game crashed. And when I logged back in, Christmas Goose fell from the sky and died. I wish I had been recording then. That makes no sense. Just don't even know what server I'm on anymore.
Only I didn't say fudge. I said the word. The big one. The queen mother of dirty words. The F-dash-dash-dash word.
And neat enough, I got a respawn near that same little pond. And this one I liked even more than the last pond. There was even a little Herrera hanging out there, who I got to serve Christmas dinner to. No! Christmas Goose is so boned. Should have waited till I was to the shore, stupid.
We're gonna press on, and we're gonna have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny Kaye. And when Santa squeezes his fat white ass down that chimney tonight, he's gonna find the jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house.
So it was back to the juvie state yet again. And I was by that same little pond, which was, again, pretty neat.
That's pretty neat.
There are also a lot more Herreras in the area. And some AI boar that I thought I could take, but I just gave up on pretty quickly. Oh my god. Really? Ugh. Okay, Christmas Goose is just cursed. Every time I make her, something bad happens. Not only was Christmas Goose's situation a bit of a disappointment, this pond was turning out to be as well. No matter how long I waited, there were no fish spawning. And with all of the stamina that I had wasted, it was going to be a challenge to get to the nearest body of water that would have schooling fish. Oh, great. So I thought the next best course of action would be to try the shorelines for turtles or crabs. This also turned out to be a fruitless endeavor. And so, rather than pointlessly struggling back inland to a river or one of the ponds that seemed to not have fish, Christmas Goose instead nestled down in the grass with a beautiful view and peacefully went into the night. I also took this as my clue that when you name something a dinner-oriented food item, you're just not gonna have a good time.
Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
While it was a sad ending, many things were learned and jovial times were had. Thank you all again for watching, and I hope you have a happy Christmas and a very Merry New Year.